We're here at Jellystone Delaware Beaches today to take a look around under new management and ownership. So they've got a lot of things in the works, some things they've already done, and we're going to see some of it today. The large building at the front of Jellystone Delaware Beaches contains several things, including the activity center seen here. The activity center is where they do host their blacklight parties and some of their arts and crafts as well. Also in that main building is the registration area and store. The store was recently cleared out. They're going to do a full remodel here and put everything back in time for the season to open. And now we're going to head outside to the pool and comfort station area. It's a decent sized pool. I believe the deep end goes to 6 feet. And currently this is the only comfort station in the park, but they are building one at the back of the park, a modular comfort station. And this is the fun hut where you can grab your sunscreen and stuff right at poolside. The activity field behind the registration and the arcade area is pretty large, as you can see here, so they can have all sorts of activities outside. There's a small dog run that's right outside the arcade. They do have plans on potentially expanding that. This is the outside of the arcade, and we'll step in. They're doing a full refurb inside of here as well. They'll have all new games and redemptions and all sorts of things in the arcade. And outside the arcade is their movie screen, which they plan on using this year every Friday and or Saturday. And here's a look at the current playground. A small playground here that is going to be refreshed a little bit. And then in the middle, you're going to see the camera swing there towards the middle. There's going to be a brand new structure there, and then some new swings and on the far end. That middle space there will be for older kids. A lot of more athletic things, monkey bars and stuff like that is the current plan. So Ranger Fikes was nice enough to bring us in here in the storage space to show us the new firings that are going to come in. And right on top on one of these stacks, one of them is unwrapped. You can see the cooking grate there and brand new. So if you've ever wanted to know what a firing looks like before it's been used over and over and over, they actually start out shiny. And here you can see what's being replaced. They're old firings that were pulled out. Obviously, years of use. You can see some of the rust and browning on those. And again, just stack after stack, one for every site. They're going to put on all new ones of brand new firings with cooking grates on all of them. So the tall pole here, they're putting in brand new Wi-Fi. And you'll actually see several of them if you can look off in the distance. That they'll have their hotspots on. You can actually see on the picnic table there, that's one of the old poles, which is a lot shorter. So they're going to have a lot better, not only bandwidth coming in, the whole new system, but also obviously the reach and the connection should be better with the taller poles. This is the Bear's Den, where Yogi and Boo Boo and Cindy will hang out once the season is open. Let's do a little scan from this end of the park. And as Ranger Fike shared with us, these are smaller pull-through, and then behind that, in the next row, pull-through sites for RVs. Very popular sites even. So we're going to come back here and actually stay a couple nights in April, and this is where our cabin will be. It's not here yet, and they were kind enough that we're going to be right next to the Bear's Den. So Abby is quite excited that she'll be able to help wake up the bears every morning. They probably don't want to get up when we get up, which is like 6 o'clock. This is the accessible cabin at Jellystone Delaware Beaches. Bunk bed here in the main room, as well as a little dining area. 3 chairs, but space for a fourth. Very nicely decorated TV there in the corner. You got the valances over the windows. Love the cabinets with the handles, the rustic handles. Microwave over 2-burner cooktop. One larger burner, one smaller burner. Lots of drawer space. Toaster and coffee maker, full-size coffee maker. Another valance there. Well decorated again. I like the little RV. And I'd say apartment size fridge, which for a unit like this is probably appropriate. There's one other bed here tucked in the corner, so I think you might be able to get 4 in here, but definitely 3 people comfortably. And then obviously the accessible bathroom, plenty of space to get in and out with a wheelchair or any other walking aid that you might have. Step-in shower with a seat. And then the sink here around the bathroom door. And we'll also walk outside, out front here, just so you get a look at what it looks like. Well, these cabins are in the process of being moved. So they will be relocated slightly, but this is 78. And we'll just step away here. Outside. Very nice on the outside as well. So this is a comfort cabin at Delaware Jellystone Beaches, and we're going to look around the side there. There's your picnic table, and right in front of it is where the fire ring goes. They have new fire rings coming in, so that one is currently missing. And on the front porch here, a couple nice chairs, rocking chair. One thing I'm impressed by both this cabin type and the other one we were in, the accessible, is the decor and kind of just the feel. In terms of the camping aesthetic. Going through the screen door. And so this here in the main room, again, a lot of usable space. This can sleep up to 6. These are twin over full, so your mileage may vary in terms of your comfort level of putting 2 in a full size, 1 on each side here in the main room. And again, that's a good amount of space between the beds. So whether that's, you're bringing in storage bins for your clothing or just your suitcases or what have you. A lot of space there. And around on this side, a small dining spot area, a couple of chairs there. And there's your TV, sort of the kitchenette area. You've got the microwave. Again, nice decor. There's a little RV up top. Full-size sink. And those same nice cabinets as were in the accessible cabin. Coffee maker, toaster, 2 burners, cooktop, and the apartment size fridge. And we'll go in the bathroom here. There is a toilet there. Walk-in shower stall. Sink. And mirror. It looks like we've got a medicine cabinet. Yep. So a little bit of storage space inside here. And then here's something that I was surprised by. I saw this closet and thought this is probably just the water heater. And it is the water heater in the corner. But also a really nice amount of shelving space. So depending on your length of stay, this isn't necessarily just for towels. I could see somebody putting actually some of their clothing in here to keep it out of the way in the main room. So if you're here a weekend, maybe 3-4 nights, depending on how many people, you could get quite a bit of stuff here into the bathroom. And we'll walk back outside. Now, they are in the process or about to move all their current cabins over to this row in the campground. where this one currently is. So one of these, this site that was a RV site, there will be a cabin moving over here. So instead of the ones that you see through the trees there in the front, they will all be in a row here on this side of the campground. So we're going to take a quick walk inside a cozy cabin. Like the last one we were in, Sleep 6. And instead of 2 twin over fulls, this is actually a twin over twin and a full over full. Similar spacing between the 2 beds, the 2 bunks, which is, again, helpful. Since, you know, if you have a place to store your stuff or whatever else, spread out. And one thing I hadn't mentioned, and we noticed this in each of the cabin types so far. So get close up there. Outlet. Outlet. We got another one over here. And all of these, you know, easily accessible and not anything plugged into them. So you can travel nowadays, everyone with the electronics and everything else, plenty of things to plug in. Dining table on this side here. Television. And now the difference between this one and the last cabin we were in, a little bit less of kitchen space, no burner, but you have the microwave, small fridge, coffee maker on top, a little bit of shelf space there. Again, love the decor. Jellystone Park. And then here's some, I'm assuming, there's a picture here that I'm assuming is Milford, which is the town in Delaware nearby. Another picture up here. Wow. And then a full bathroom. Every cabin here actually has a full bathroom, which is nice. There's none of those like camping style, no bathroom cabins here. Pedestal sink. Toilet here. And then we're gonna get, it's a little tight in here. Oh, this is actually, did not realize this. I had come in before. Frosted actual shower door instead of the curtain. Opens out. This is a very nice shower, actually. Surprised by that. All right, everyone, we're here at Jellystone Delaware Beaches. We've been shown quite a bit around the campground from Brian Fikes, Ranger Fikes. Talked about some of the changes that are coming to the park. And I'm just going to do a walkthrough front to back of the park. And behind me, you'll see a registration building where the store is, which is being remodeled, and the activity center is also in that building. And then we're going to flip the camera around and walk through here. And again, you see some cabins here on this side, and I'm going to scan this way, and some cabins now running along the front. However, they are in the process of moving these cabins that are here all into this row. So right now, these cabins on this row going from the front to the back of the park are sort of in every other site with RV sites in between. That's not going to be the case. There's going to be just essentially a row of cabins here. And those front spots, at least for now, will be RV sites. There are plans to add more cabins to this park, and that may take up some of the front row. Currently, and here's the Bear's Den, where Yogi and Boo Boo and Cindy stay. Little letters to Yogi there. Currently, there are 23 cabins available to rent here, over 200 RV sites. Scan to the right here, and we see some RV sites. And decent size sites with some space in between. It's hard to tell, obviously, when there's no RVs parked here in February. There's a Wi-Fi pole. They put a lot of new poles in. All new Wi-Fi coming in. $2.3 million being invested in improvements under the new ownership and management here at Delaware Beaches. This campground itself is only about 10 years old. Initially opened as an independent campground, then took on the Jellystone franchise name, and then obviously the ownership change, which happened just last fall, and a lot of improvements that are coming. A couple of the other things that they are investing in: new playground, which elsewhere in this video will show you the renderings of that and some up close there. A few things that they're not quite ready to announce yet that we will have for you in the future. But the main reason I wanted to come all the way back here was, for one, to give you an idea of the size of the campground. It is actually not as small as I thought it was, but it is not a large campground. It's all one sort of area, so it's larger than what you might think of, like in terms of one part of a large campground. So it's a good size. One of the other big improvements coming, and this is the reason we came back here. Presently, there is only one bathhouse, and it is at the front of the park near the pool. Makes sense. The downside of that, obviously, is if you are in a pop-up or a tent camper and you are in the back half of the park, that is not convenient. So they are going to be putting in a modular comfort station, which will be similar to the ones that they have at some of the Northgate owned Jellystones. I gave everyone a tour of one in our Williamsport video. So if you want to check that out, you can. So that's going to be a big improvement for those staying towards the back of the park who don't have a bathroom. Now, cabin campers don't have to worry about that. Every cabin here has a full bath. Every one that we looked in today has some sort of kitchen amenities. At a minimum, coffee maker, microwave, and refrigerator. Some of them have a two-burner cooktop as well, toasters, that sort of thing. But yeah, even what you would call the lower end cabins here are actually quite nice. They don't have any sort of camping, roughing it type cabins where some of those are just a bed and some an electric and really nothing else. The cabins here are all certainly places to stay. I apologize if there's some wind noise. We're walking into a headwind, a little bit breezy down here. If you're curious where about this park is located, we are in Lincoln, Delaware right now. It's not far from Milford, Delaware. It's actually the closest town of any size is Milford. Maybe 10 minutes up the road, if that. Milford has a Walmart, all your fast food, regular grocery stores. So anything you need really not far away. We came in off of Route 1. It's a toll road in Delaware. Eventually it's no longer a toll road once you get this far south. It takes you out to the beaches. And you can get to Cape Henlopen State Park, nice beach. Rehoboth Beach, a couple other areas within a half an hour. Probably some beaches even closer. Probably smaller, but closer. And I am going to mention on this video, as we talk to Ranger Fikes, they have plans in the works for purchasing shuttle vehicle that will be available to campground guests to go out to, perhaps the beach, perhaps some nearby businesses, restaurants, things like that. So that will be a really great amenity that I'm not really familiar with at a lot of other campgrounds, to be able to bring people to some of the attractions nearby. And really impressed with a lot of the plans that they have here at Delaware Beaches. We're fortunate enough that they've asked us to come down and have a stay. They're going to host us in April, so we'll be here 2 nights mid-April. Just a quick little springtime stay. and we'll have a good review then. And some of the improvements that they're working on now will obviously already be in place, and some things may be still underway, and we can get some updated video of that as well. Really looking forward to this campground growing. For us, it's an hour's drive. It's actually the closest Jellystone to us. We've never been here before today. Again, it doesn't currently have some of the frills that some of the larger parks have. But again, a much more spacious campground than I imagined. And some of the plans are really exciting and I think innovative in some ways, especially that connection to the local attractions and running a shuttle. Along those lines, they have plans to bring different food trucks in during the season. So rather than trying to do food and beverage themselves, they're going to bring people in who know how to do it well. And that's going to provide a little variety. So if you're someone who comes to this park multiple times or seasonal, you're going to get a lot of different things on the menu, essentially, here at the park when you don't feel like cooking. So that's kind of our front to back look. We'll swing by there, and we got some video inside of the arcade, which is currently being renovated. It's cleared out right now, but that's sort of that building there, and the building next to the pool, bathhouse and everything in there. And in between, it's really just a large activity field where they hold a lot of their outdoor activities and things like that. So again, this was our trip through Jellystone, Delaware Beaches.